anybody there yet?
So you guys, let's chat, okay? You see my mug here? Survive Motherhood, one cup at a time. How are you guys doing with your virtual schooling, if you're doing virtual schooling, or maybe you're a homeschool mom? I'm going to share with you my top 5 takeaways after doing this for a couple of weeks. It has been an eye-opening experience. We have done schooling at home before, but not to this extent. I'm kind of halfway in between. This is a huge blessing, and oh my gosh, what did I sign up for? That's like literally how my moods have been. There are some days that it is insane around here, but there are other days where it's been such a huge blessing to have the kids at home. All right, I was interrupted by the 4-year-old. Real life, right? All right, number 5 is I was way more excited to get up on the first day of school and get the kids ready when I was putting them on the bus than I was this year when I knew they were staying home. I love my kids, okay? I'm not saying I don't love them, and I love spending time with them, but schooling at home is hard. It is. If anybody tells you that having your kids home all day and doing schoolwork with them and trying to explain things and trying to be patient is easy, they're lying. It is not easy. It is really hard. It doesn't mean it's not wonderful sometimes, but it's tough. Number 4, when you have younger kids and you're trying to school with the older kids, first of all, I got called out by my 2nd grader's teacher because I was being loud with my younger kids and she couldn't hear my 2nd grader. That's embarrassing. It's hard to juggle it all, right? Because you have your younger ones, at least mine have tons of energy. They're very different than my older 2. They're always into something. Literally last week, we had bruises, we had bumps on our head that we had to call the pediatrician for, and that was just last week, okay? The busy bins that I created have been a lifesaver. For some reason, I don't know why, the kids have tons of toys in their playroom. Those aren't interesting. A lot of times when I'm trying to work with the older ones, they're not interested in playing with one. But when I pull the busy bins down, something they don't always get to use, then they're 100% in it and they want to just play with that, and that gives me an opportunity to kind of sneak away and help my older ones at the computer with whatever they're doing. If you want to know what I'm talking about, if you haven't watched the video, I'm putting the video for my busy bins down in the link below. If you have little ones, I highly recommend it. It has literally saved my sanity over these last couple of weeks. Number 3, flexibility is a must. I posted a video, it was I think my first video or close to that one of my goals for this year, and one of the things that I was writing down was you've got to be flexible. I'm not a flexible person. I like things to be scheduled. I like things to go the way that I want them to go, but kids don't work that way, and this online schooling situation does not work that way. We've literally had days where we could not get the material that needed to be worked on that day for whatever reason, whether it from their end or our end, the Zoom link wasn't working or the Zoom link wasn't on there. And in those moments, I just had to breathe and say, let's play a game until your teacher emails me and we get this figured out. Flexibility has saved me from having a meltdown. Also, stepping away from the schedule. Yesterday, you guys, I wanted to get in my car and I wanted to drive away, far, far away, because all of them actually, not even just the older ones. The older ones were crying because they didn't understand anything, they didn't want to do it, it was too hard, and when I was trying to explain it to them and help them, they were crying so loud they couldn't hear me. Then we have the younger ones over on the other side that are arguing, and Aiden is hitting Layla with a sword, and Layla is just standing there screaming and crying. So I had to just stop for a minute and say, I'm getting ready to lose my mind. We're taking a break. We're going to take an hour. We're going to eat a snack. Mommy's gonna watch some reality TV. Yes, I watched Married at First Sight, the first half of that episode, in the living room, in peace, while they did something quietly, so we could all have a brain break. Flexibility is one of my takeaways from this. Like, you can't do this online distance learning without flexibility. You're going to drive yourself nuts, because I don't think there has been one day that everything has just gone smoothly. It's either something with the distance learning or the kids are having a meltdown. So that is definitely my number 3 takeaway. Number 2, organization is important. I learned the first day, so I had the book bins. I'm a very organized person. If you've been watching my videos, I say this all the time. It's true. Like, I just love organization. Having a family, having kids has forced me to stop being such a stickler for organization and everything being in its place. But I still like that. So the first day I had our book bins, everything was in there, it was on the shelf. I felt like I had a good system. The kids sit down at the computer and they're running back and forth getting things to their teacher. And I'm like, that's not gonna work. So we've learned that they have to keep their book bins next to them, because running back and forth, then the teacher's sitting there and waiting for kids to run around and get all their supplies. So that was definitely one of my takeaways, is that they need to have the supplies right next to them. Also along these lines, I thought I was really, really organized with having the just generic schedule that they printed in my binder, but they have a different schedule for every week. And what was happening is I was literally stressing myself out trying to search through all my emails to find the schedule for this week, or to go onto the school website and look through there and find it. And this is actually not my idea. Another parent emailed that they had printed the schedule, and I'm like, that is such a great idea. So I printed both of the kids' weekly schedules. I will change those every week and put them in my binder, so all I have to do is look through there. The other beautiful thing about that is when Alan's available, he can look too to make sure that they're on track and doing what they need to be doing. And one last thing with organization: usernames and passwords. I know for our school it's nice because everything's on one website, so they have one username, one password. That's been fantastic. I know some schools are using Google Classroom and they have different links on there, and you may have different logins. Print out your students' usernames and passwords and put it somewhere they can find it. That has saved my sanity. Their teacher emailed out their username and password at the beginning of the school year, and so literally the first couple of days, I could not remember. It said like a number password. I couldn't remember the number. It's like a random number. For anything in the world. Like, I was trying to memorize them, couldn't memorize them. The kids didn't know them, so I'm like searching through my emails, trying to find the password and the username. And in the meanwhile, they have a lot of scheduled lessons, so we're on a time frame, and I'm like, but then when I printed out the schedules, I was like, why don't I just print out this email so that they have it? That's been wonderful, because then they can log in themselves. And I can just say, like, if I'm upstairs doing something, all right, it's time for you to do language arts, log in and click the link. And my number 1 takeaway from these first couple of weeks of virtual schooling is give grace. I have been so grateful to my kids' teachers for just grinding and working to make this work. I know it isn't easy for anybody, especially teachers trying to put this together. And they've sent out numerous emails saying, I'm so sorry, I apologize. And I keep thinking there's no reason to apologize. Like, I completely understand. If we miss a lesson because something isn't working, it's one lesson. It's one day. There's another day. No big deal. We give you grace because, listen, these teachers did not sign up to do this. This was thrown at them like it was all of us. So why not just be gracious? Give yourself grace. I've had to do that a lot this week and last week. You know, there are times where by the end of the school day, I'm like, I just need to get away. And it was a realization, because my husband's working from home and I love him and I love my kids, but you know what? Too much of anything is not good. So I have to give myself grace and say it's okay to leave and go to the store by myself or take a walk. It doesn't make me a bad mom. It doesn't mean I don't love my husband and my kids. It just means that I just need some peace and quiet and time to myself. And it's okay if I get frustrated and need to step back for a second, and maybe we don't get that lesson completed right at 11:30. You know, give yourself grace to make mistakes, and maybe even grace not even to like the situation. It's everybody acts like you have to be in love with schooling your kids at home. Like, this is where we're at, so embrace it and smile. Yeah, you want to be positive, but it's okay to feel some kind of way about this. We all do, right? Nobody's, you know, singing a hallelujah chorus because we're in this situation that 2020 has put us in. And so give yourself grace and give others grace. You know, when other parents are frustrated, something that's was beautiful that happened in London's class is the teacher emailed us all so we could see each other's email addresses and we could reply to all. And so as we've been having issues getting logged in, or, you know, getting Zoom links, it's really great that the parents were able to come together and help each other and encourage each other, because I feel like everybody's all just a little bit stressed out. And when you are able to give other people grace and help them and just come alongside other people, it just makes it a little bit better for everybody. So I hope that your school year, whether you're schooling at home or maybe your kids are going to school, which that's cool, you get a little break. I hope that no matter which way you're schooling, that you are having a wonderful school year so far. And I would love to hear your top 5 takeaways from your school year so far. So if you want to drop it in the comments or you want to post it on social for me, I would love to read it. So that we can keep in touch, don't forget to subscribe so you can see my next video. Hit the bell so you get the notifications as soon as I post it, and I will catch you guys later. Bye!